Hello and welcome back to the workshop. Last week we threaded and fit the barrel, fit the extractor, and joined Mrs. Shopbeer in holy matrimony. The family is doing well, thank you for asking. We actually have another little one on the way. Soon will be an entire six-pack. This episode we will be inletting a lot, but I'll do my best to make this episode still fun, as always. Inletting is like playing Tetris. It's precision carving your stock to hug the metal components. It can be very difficult at times, as it's like fitting this into this. But it feels more like fitting this into this. The best way to inlet is by using ink. First, this ink is brushed onto the metal. It's important to make the ink coating very thin so you don't get a false transfer. The metal is then placed into the wood and then given a few firm taps. It's extremely important to ensure the metal always goes back to the same place, which is why I use these guide pins. This here is my beaten stick. It started out as a mallet, then some years ago, the head flew across the shop and no one's seen it since. The next step will be to remove the metal. As you can see, all those little black spots in there, that is everywhere that the metal is touching and the ink is transferring. So now we know exactly where the high spots are, and those need to be removed. The next step is repeating those steps over and over, sliver by sliver. You cannot rush this process or you will have a gap the size of the Mississippi River. So there you go. That's all the steps of inletting. So naturally, it's a very monotonous and routine thing. So there's not a lot that I have to say. I'll explain things here and there, but for the most part, man, just sit back. So, as you can imagine, this takes a minute to do. And it's very important to be in the right mindset when you're doing it. Take your time and do it right, or you can rush through it and completely cock it up and then be sad about it for the rest of your life. I have done both. Wait. I'm remembering that the forearm needs to be shortened anyways, so it would be wise to cut it off first and save some inletting time. Right, that makes sense. But first, I need some fuel.
Speak. Speak.
Alright, now back to work. British rifles tend to have short forearms, so that's what we're going to replicate here. We're going to measure it up, cut it on the bandsaw. Never mind. We're not going to cut it on the bandsaw. This thing has less teeth than my great-grandfather. So it's hand tools for us. I just tried to put the saw blade in upside down. That was stupid. What are you gonna cut with that, Justin? You ever have one of them days where just nothing works like it's supposed to? That's what's going on here. Just stupid. Okay, let's freeze it there and let's talk about a game plan. Now let's isolate the rifle. Up, and that's worse, okay. The forearm obviously needs to be rounded out and thinned out. The grip still needs to be contoured, the comb still needs to be shaped, these flutes need to be fixed, and these points here, I'm going to keep them, but they're going to be much more subtle. The future owner of this rifle is actually watching these videos, so everyone say hi to Bruce. Really? %, really? 86% of you are just watching the videos and not hitting the subscribe button. I don't know if I can handle this. I need a minute. Tell the people, they're in there. They're right there. You see them? Tell them to subscribe. But before we do that, it's time to get into the winners of last week's parts game. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit surprised by some of this. So I saw British Lancaster guessed a lot, and such a good guess. That's actually a British Tranter revolver. As always, leave your guesses in the comments, and I will shout you out next week. Okay, let's get into the cheek piece. Not only is this one of the most important areas, it's also my favorite part. Since your eye is quickly drawn to this area, it's extremely important to make it look nice, symmetrical, and pleasing to the eye. This means no paraboles, no weird inconsistencies, and no silly ideas.
Mission failed. We'll get 'em next Whatever awesome idea you think you have, it's been tried, and there's a reason that it hasn't caught on and you don't see more of it. I'm speaking to myself, because I've done that a lot. Super important to always be looking at it from every possible angle that you can think of. You want to just stare at this thing, take your time, and really look at it. A good trick is to use light to throw different shadows on it to show mistakes, but it's always good to get a second opinion. Now that we've got the shape right, the shadow line is absolutely horrendous. So some significant contouring needs to be done here. And as I'm fixing that shadow line, I can feel a silly little idea starting to form. Now, it's important to follow these silly ideas because your idea is probably awesome and no one has ever seen it before, and it could probably change the world, who knows? All right, I don't think I like it, but I'll need to look at it with Monday eyes and decide from there. So by the time you're watching this video, it could be vastly different. So tune in next week to see what I decided. Guys, thank you all so much for all the support. I have the best audience here, and I love talking with you guys in the comments. There are some big developments here with future series and videos that you guys are really gonna like, and I'm so excited to share. Have a great week, and as always, I'll see you next Tuesday.